Imagine standing deep in a rainforest where the air is thick with humidity, birds are calling from the towering trees, and vines wrap themselves around ancient stone buildings that have stood for over 1,000 years. At first glance, it might just look like another stretch of jungle. But then, a giant pyramid slowly emerges through the mist. Massive staircases climb towards the sky. Stone temples sit proudly on the summit. Intricate carvings cover every wall, telling stories of mighty kings, fierce battles, powerful gods, and a civilization that once ruled much of Central America. Blimey, it's hard to believe that all of this was hidden beneath the jungle for centuries. This was the world of the Maya, one of the most extraordinary civilizations.
The Maya had already built enormous cities filled with towering pyramids, royal palaces, bustling marketplaces, and observatories that tracked the movement of the stars with astonishing accuracy. Mind you, they achieved all of this without iron tools, without horses, without wheeled transport, without modern machinery. Yet somehow, they transformed dense tropical forests into thriving kingdoms that lasted for thousands of years. Today, we're traveling back through time using AI Reconstruction to witness their incredible story from the very beginning. We'll watch tiny farming villages grow into magnificent cities. We'll meet powerful kings who believed they spoke directly to the gods. We'll witness epic wars between rival kingdoms. We'll uncover astonishing scientific discoveries. And finally,
we'll discover why one of history's greatest civilizations mysteriously declined, leaving behind silent cities that nature slowly reclaimed. Right then, let's begin our journey. Nearly 5,000 years ago, the lands we now know as southern Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, western Honduras, and El Salvador looked very different. Instead of magnificent stone cities, there were endless forests. Towering ceiba trees reached towards the heavens. Monkeys swung through thick canopies. Bright tropical birds filled the skies with color. Powerful jaguars silently stalked the undergrowth. Rivers twisted through the landscape, providing life wherever they flowed. For thousands of years, small groups of hunter-gatherers wandered these forests. They hunted deer, caught fish, collected fruits,
gathered edible plants. Life depended entirely on nature. If the rains failed, food became scarce. If animals migrated, families had to follow. It wasn't an easy existence. But everything began to change around 2000 BC. People started experimenting with farming. At first, it was simple. They planted maize, beans, squash, chilies. These crops would eventually become the foundation of Maya civilization. Maize wasn't simply food. It became sacred. According to later Maya beliefs, humanity itself had been created from maize dough by the gods. Imagine believing that every loaf of bread, every kernel of corn, and every harvest connected you directly to the creation of humankind. That belief shaped Maya life for thousands of years. As farming improved, something remarkable happened. Families no longer needed to move constantly. They settled. Small villages appeared beside rivers and fertile land. Children grew up in permanent homes. Communities became stronger. People could finally specialize. Instead of everyone hunting every day, some became skilled potters.
They constantly interacted. Every storm, every drought, every successful harvest, every birth, every death, all were connected to divine forces. To maintain balance, people made offerings, food, flowers, incense, sometimes precious jade. Ceremonies became increasingly important. Special religious leaders gained influence. These early priests carefully observed the skies. Night after night, they watched stars rise and disappear. They followed the movements of the moon. They tracked Venus with astonishing dedication. At first, these observations were practical. Knowing when rainy seasons would begin helped farmers survive. But eventually, astronomy became something far greater. The heavens became a sacred clock. The movements of celestial bodies were interpreted as messages from the gods themselves. Fancy that. Thousands of years before telescopes, people standing beneath tropical skies were already recording planetary movements with incredible precision. Knowledge